It's day 14. Your boy ObZ here, Do It to Life, 365 days of breast cancer / cancer awareness. We're going to do it to life before life, do it to us. We're going to do it to 2021. Look here, guys, day 14. Hope you're still hanging in there. Even if you fell off a little bit, long as you got that calendar. It's 2 weeks in, just one day at a time. We're going to do it's Sunday, so we're going to do a recap. And I'm going to talk about one of my favorite Bible verses. And that Bible verse is going to be Matthew 7. You know, that's one of my favorites. Ask, and it is given. Seeking, you shall find. Knock, and the door will be open. That's why I base this whole Do It to Life program on. And we're going to do those things. It's two other chapters before that, chapter 6, chapter 5. The whole book of Matthew is good. The whole Bible's good as far as taking these solutions and working through these problems, applying them to our life. And that's what I'm just cataloging what I'm doing, so I could just show. To me, I know there's other people that seem to get it real easy. In certain areas of my life, I do get it real easy. But these tough areas of my life, the life that I want to have changed, but want to haven't have changed for years, that's taking a deep dive because it's underlying situations that are running underneath that has stopped that growth. Just like with grass. You know, you have certain parts of your yard that's perfect, other parts of your yard that's not perfect. And in those areas, you can't do the exact same thing because it may be some underlying conditions under that. Maybe the water flow is not right. Maybe the soil pH is not right. Maybe you got some disease or something in that area. And that's what we're looking at. That's why I say / cancer awareness, because we're going to be looking at cancer in certain areas, mostly in our thinking. You know, it's in our thinking. And that's what we're going to be looking at. Last week we went over the ASK method. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's going to be a book review. Right now we're doing the one thing on Tuesdays. And then on Thursdays we're doing the four agreements. Thursday was wonderful. We got into being impeccable with our word, watching what we say. Saturday we got in on some more words, using some affirmations. And like I said, today we're just gonna be I want you to look over your entire week. Look at some areas that you've uncovered. Look at your 66-day challenge calendar and see where you fell off. Go back and look and analyze and say, hey, why did I fall off on that? Maybe that task was a little bit too big. Maybe the conditions weren't right. Maybe it's one thing I like to do, and I'm gonna do another short video here, and it's gonna later on. It's gonna be called "The Faces of Fear." I like that, I like that. So it's the faces of fear. And that normally, if you know that we're sluggish or dragging our feet in a certain area, there's just another face of fear. We're going to start looking at how to recognize and uncover and see what that face looks like. Because to the average Joe, it don't look like you think it look. Sometimes it's invisible. Sometimes you don't even recognize it. But you can recognize its effects. I always, I'm a big science buff as well too, and they always talking about dark matter. Can't see it, but they're just looking at the effects. Like you can't see gravity, but you know its effects and know that it's there. That's why I'm standing right here. That's why this thing is upright. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we're gonna look. Fear is just like that. It's there. We're gonna learn how to detect it, see what it looks like. We're gonna do that later on. It's gonna be fun because I have been struggling with a little small fear. Don't make sense, right? Yeah, when I lay it out, but when I was at work, I overheard somebody else struggling with the exact same thing, and then as I pressed into it, guess what? A third person was doing the exact same thing, and we all laughed about it. I told them what I was diving into, what I was researching this fear, and we're gonna get into that a little bit later on. But back to this, right? Looking at that challenge calendar, you want to make sure that if you didn't do it, see, I got one at work, so you can have a challenge calendar in several different areas. But you don't want, like I say, you don't want to overwhelm yourself in one area. Like the guy said, like going on a diet is multiple habits. We think it's one habit, but it's multiple habits, is what he said. He said that you gotta, not just building the habit of getting up, the habit of exercising, the habit of planning and meal prepping, the habit of watching what you eat and counting your calories, the habit of your environment. You see what I'm saying? It's several habits that go into it, and that's why it makes, you know, losing weight so tough. But if you just take, hey, I'm just gonna work, which out of all those habits that if I did one would help the others, make the others easier, and some of them unnecessary. That is the key phrase out of the One Thing book. You guys should have it. You should have it. Today I'm gonna spend some time putting those links on my YouTube page so you know what I'm looking at and have those resources readily available. I hope yesterday you did go to YouTube, listen to The Word Is Your One. You could pop it in your car while you're taking a shower. Remember, we uncovered those hidden areas of time when you say, hey, I got to make time. We already got time. The time is going to be using these phones and using the audio of it. Even if you, hey, I can't really get into it, play it anyway. Guess what? Your brain still hears it. It still goes in. I know those annoying commercials that you see on TV when you're watching your favorite program. After a time, you know those commercials, even though you skip them, you turn off, you don't pay attention to them, you still know them. The jingles, it still gets in there. So don't let your brain talk you out of, hey, I need to be concentrating on this, I need to be taking notes. No, we got time. We just gonna keep doing it. We just gonna squeeze that time when you're brushing your teeth. When you wake, this is the only habit you probably have to do. And it's a habit too. I mean, you gotta wake up, and sometimes I wake up in the morning, I be like, gosh, you know what, man, I need to grab my phone. I need to go ahead and, it's a chore to go to YouTube, look it up, and turn this on, turn that down. And sometimes my brain talk me out of it. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes it talks me out of it, and then I don't do it for that day. But even though it's back there, even though it's easy and simple, sometimes I talk myself out of it. But that's a habit, just getting up, take your phone in there, sit it on the ledge, sit it on the counter while you making your face up or brushing your teeth, and then just let it play. While you're taking your shower, let it play. While you're eating your lunch, eating your breakfast, let it play. I know you like to watch the news. Guess what? You'll have to replace it. Because if you've been watching the news all these years, the news has not taken you to the next level. So evidently that time can be reallocated. What else are you doing in the morning? You get your morning coffee. You should be listening to something that's going something different. I was telling my daughter, my oldest daughter, the other night, they was doing something, and they, oh yeah, we're trying to organize the kitchen, the freezer, because we got 3 or 4 people here, and the freezer's all junk. And I said, man, why don't you guys organize that freezer? They said, we've tried. And it just go. I say, if you tried and it's still junky, then why don't you try something different? We can't get everybody on the board. So why don't you, instead of trying to reorganize the freezer again and again, why don't you try and get that other person on board? It's impossible. See, we just listening to that speech, right? We just listening to it. I'm just pointing it out to them. Just listen to what you're saying. And it's tough. They say, hey, it's tough. I don't know if we can swim. I don't want to think about it right now. And that's what we feel sometimes. We don't want to think about it right now. But you don't keep doing the same thing. This is eyes behind eyes. You are the person behind the eyes. I'm trying to get you to go a level back. We did that in the previous episode. Go one level, another level back behind your thoughts, back behind your brain is what I call it. Because your brain, a lot of times people think they're their bodies. This is me, but this is not you. You're the person looking out of the eyes. You're the person that's been looking out of. You're the same person when you was little. You ever went back to your old neighborhood? I went to my old neighborhood the other day, and I'm gonna post some pictures on Instagram. Went to my old neighborhood, and I remember the things. It's still the same person that's in here that was there. It's still exactly the same. You know, you go to your old school and the swings and stuff look smaller than you remember them and stuff like that because you were in a smaller body and things were bigger, but you were the same person. The eyes behind the eyes. Now I'm telling you to go a level back, go behind your brain and start watching what your brain is doing, watching the thoughts come in and out of your brain. Watch them. You have the power to just watch them like you're watching cars go down the interstate, watching people in a busy intersection. You're at the mall. I want you to go back and start watching your thoughts. And you can do that by what I call now, we'll call it the Doctor Strange. We're going to stop that thing, rewind time just back a little bit. We call it the Doctor Strange and say, hey, where did this thought come from? You're going to rewind it back. Okay, where did it come from? How did it get in here? What was I thinking before that? Then you go back. See, your brain records everything. Then you can go back on a thought once you catch yourself at the candy machine. I called the guy at the candy. He said he wasn't gonna drink no more sodas. Man, what you doing here drinking a soda? Oh man, I don't know, man. I don't know. I said, let's just go back. What just happened? Something had to happen to make you reach for the comfort. Let's go back. You know, we walk through it. I'm walking through with them. I'm not a psychologist. I'm an observer. And I figured if I can walk him back through his and kind of see where it come from, I'm gonna learn as well too. So we walk back together. And it's something different about when you're working with people face to face versus just working with yourself. It's a synergy that comes from the 7 habits of highly effective people. Should be on your bookshelf. But it's the synergy when 1 plus 1 don't equal 2. It equals 3, 4, 5. It's a multiplication that happens when two powers come together. So it says it in the Bible where two come to agree, there I will be also. So all we have to do is agree in a spirit of perfect harmony. That comes from another good book, be Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. He said when two come together in the spirit of perfect harmony means that I don't have a hidden agenda. Me and you working on this together. We're going to come up with a plan together. We truly, truly want to come up with something that's bigger than both of us and better for both of us. And that's when he will appear. You see what I'm saying? So it's a synergy when you're sitting down working with folks. You know how ideas come in. So I like walking people through it because then that's when the Lord give me even deeper insights that I can help myself so I'll be able to help others. And that's what it's all about. So went through all that just to say, recap last week. Doctor Strange it all the way back. Just run through the whole last week. See what you uncovered. You may have to jot some things down or some areas that, gosh, I didn't know I was in there. Or you found a little pain point, a little door, but you weren't able to knock on that door. We're going to go back through that thing again. But make sure you listen to the one thing. Make sure that you're listening to the 4 agreements because those two things, in listening to your Bible, you know, those where those solutions that come from. All the one thing and the 4 agreement, all this stuff comes from the Bible. It's just been flavored different. It's still a hamburger, right? But it's just got different seasoning on it. And that's what I always like to tell people. It's nothing new under the sun. Everything is gonna come from there. We just flavoring it, and this is my flavor on. This is my seasoning on. This is how I'm using the ingredients. So hopefully somebody out there say, "Hey, I like the way you got using this ingredients. I'm gonna try that." Bam! That's the missing piece that I was looking for. And then we're gonna share that to the next person. So this your boy Obz recapping. Now, like I say, stay tuned. This next video, Faces of Fear, you're gonna definitely love it. I can't wait to get into it and just tell you how, man, I'm excited. I'm excited. That came to me this morning. Remember I told you I gotta sneak this back in here. Write those questions down. Your what, when, how, who, where. Not gonna use why. Don't write why questions down. Gonna try just those other ones out. Write your tough questions. How can you get over the hump in this tough area? I want you to write those down. And you remember, in the middle of the night, if you get up in the middle of the night, I do. I get up in the middle of the night and I go to the bathroom and then come back, get back in the bed. It's because I drink too much water before I go to bed. Eat too much ice. I like to eat ice. the last couple of hours. But anyway, at that time, my spirit man is still wide awake. My 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 flesh man, my body is asleep. My brain is asleep. So now my spirit man is at its strongest power, least opposition. That's when I ask the questions, the tough questions, because that's when I'm closer to God. That's when I'm as close to my answers without my brain reasoning out what's coming in. When the answer come up, it's not shooting it down. Now I'm able to get those, hey, look, hey, what should I do tomorrow? What should I do in this area? Who should I talk to in this area? And I just rattle them off just like that. I just throw them out there. Then I just let them come back. I just throw them out there, and the next night, throw them out there. If you don't wake up, my daughter said, I don't wake up in the middle of the night. Great. When you wake up in the morning, before you get out of the bed, when you recognize that you are conscious, rattle those questions off, laying on your back. Hey, who should I talk to today? Where should I go and get this information? What should I do with this information that I already got yesterday? And you rattle them off, and then just relax, and then those answers start to come to you during those times. Because once you get up and the body wakes up, brain wake up, game over. Game over. Because they stronger. They stronger. So you gotta squeeze the time when they weak. This is strategy. This is strategy. This your boy Obz, day 14. 365 days of breast cancer awareness / cancer awareness in the area of our lives. We're gonna do it to life. For life, do it to us, and we're gonna do it to 2021. Peace out. Oh, I gotta touch that.